Three questions on the state of the crypto market with Brian Corshane, founder of Dame. It's now December. November had investors feeling uneasy as Bitcoin moved lower. What's going on?
Well, it's worth going back actually to October and touching a little bit on what started this. It looks like there was an investor, some kind of institution, maybe a market maker that was over leveraged to altcoins in the space. So on a Friday night with very low trading activity, it looked like they just couldn't hold the market up in the altcoins, and the sellers came in and put pressure on those altcoins, and a lot of them saw a pretty good sell-off. And so then made the waters a little choppy. And now, just recently, something that we saw yesterday, which was Sunday, kind of at the turn of the hour, right there, Bitcoin and the altcoins had come down a significant amount, right? We saw Bitcoin move about $4,000 lower. And looking at the data, there's different stories here and there and different stuff on X. And people really want closure. They want to try to understand what's going on. Some are saying that it's because Michael Saylor's strategy is not coming in with a large buy. And so there's not a need to hedge against selling them Bitcoin to not move the price. Well, let me talk about what that is. So when Michael Saylor wants to buy Bitcoin for strategy, and they maybe buy hundreds of millions of dollars worth, they need a seller to do it. That could be a market maker. The market maker doesn't want to be short Bitcoin because maybe they think it's going higher too. So they need a way to also buy a little bit. So they may use leverage products, derivatives, to synthetically buy to hedge themselves. But then when he doesn't come in to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, they no longer need to have this mechanism to protect themselves underneath. And so there ended up not being a bid, and it looked like it fell off. Not so sure about that one. It looks a little more technical than that, whereas the end of October, the price of Bitcoin closed the month at 109,000-ish. And it was looking like November was going to close lower on a technical term. So technical traders, short-term traders, sometimes look at these closes and use as an indicator for where things may go in the future. So the November close was lower, down around 92,000 it was looking like. And so right at the change, it looked like they just unwound their positions. Again, now we're over the weekend, like the Friday night event in October. This was a Sunday. There's not a lot of people there in the market to buy or absorb this, and it candles down a little bit. And so that's what it looks like is happening. It's not something's broken with Bitcoin. It's not like it's tariffs back in April that really made the market sell off again, 30+% there at that time too. This just looks a little bit more systematic, hedging, short-term technical traders.
Does this mean prices are going lower?
So these technical traders, they're using statistics to say, hey, since it had a lower monthly close than it did in October, maybe we think that it could go lower in the short term. Now, that's their style of investing, short term, technicals, in and out. This may just be a play for a week. The real way to invest in Bitcoin and the broader crypto sphere is to have a long time horizon, have a fundamental thesis, be in this for 4 years plus, 10 years, have a long-term financial plan. Something to note is that in 2021, the bull market there, in April of that year, Bitcoin's price went to 64,800. That was like that local high. It then had a 54% correction down to 29,000. It's a big move in a short amount of time. Then 4 months later, November, Bitcoin made a new all-time high of 69,000. So things can change very quickly here. Something that we're seeing is the statistics on the fear in the market. It's something that we can actually look at on charts and measure. It actually hasn't been this low. It actually was really low nearly 2 weeks ago. We sent a notice to clients to talk about the market and it looking like a great time to add to the space. And since then, the fear and greed index has lightened up a little bit, even though we're still down here in these levels. And so usually it can't stay down this depressed for a prolonged period of time. It does look like we are nearing more the end of this fear in the market and the exuberant sell-off. So it's a time to look to add to accounts and hold on.
How have you been helping clients recently?
So just what we're doing now and answering your questions, we do that with our clients too and provide them commentary and to be there with them to help give them clarity on what's going on in the market. And just like we did 2 weeks ago, as I mentioned, saying, hey, look, if you've got capital on the sidelines or you haven't allocated to your crypto portfolio yet this year, this is the time to do it. Statistically, these are great times to add. And whether it's in a brokerage account, an LLC, or even an IRA, we work with them to do that. And something else that we're seeing too is larger account sizes coming into us, asking for help, not only on, hey, how do I manage my positions, but I need a long-term financial plan. I need to be able to understand and stomach this volatility here in the short term, but plan for having some retirement money in the long term. And that may require us bringing in an estate attorney or a specific crypto attorney to start, cleaning up some stuff in taxes in past years, or setting up strategic accounts, LLCs, charities going to the forward. And that comprehensive wealth management brings more to the table than just being an asset manager and a portfolio manager of the crypto. We operate as a fiduciary to give them something that's a bit more substantial, protect them from litigation, and ensure that their family has a legacy that lives on.